Hidden strength. Commander Ilara Voss gripped the railing of the observation deck as she watched the United Earth Defense Force's outer fleet scatter before the overwhelming firepower of the Sithian Empire. Their massive warships, elegant, crystalline structures that seemed to shimmer with dangerous energy, methodically destroyed Earth's defenders near the orbit of Mars. Her vessel, the UES Defiant, trembled as another explosion rocked nearby space. Captain Torres approached, his weathered face set in grim determination despite what appeared to be a catastrophic defeat. "Commander, we've received extraction orders. All remaining vessels are to fall back to Earth's orbit immediately," Torres said, his voice betraying no emotion. Ilara's jaw tightened. "We're abandoning the Martian colonies." "Not abandoning. Strategically repositioning," Torres corrected. "This comes directly from Admiral Chen. Priority Alpha." Ilara's eyes widened. Priority Alpha meant only one thing. Phoenix Protocol was being activated. She'd been briefed on it once, 6 years ago, in a room so secure that it existed in a dimensional pocket outside normal spacetime. What she'd learned there had seemed almost impossible to believe, even for someone who had dedicated her life to Earth's secretive advanced weapons division. "Understood, Captain," she replied, turning away from the viewport where the Sithian warships continued their inexorable advance. "I'll prepare my team." Across the solar system, similar retreats were happening, Earth's forces appearing to crumble before the might of the Sithian Empire. To any observer, it looked like humanity's final stand was about to begin. On the command deck of the Sithian flagship Crystal Dominion, High Admiral Krelvor watched with satisfaction as the primitive human vessels fled before his fleet. His long, angular face, with its characteristic Sithian luminescent patterns, glowed with pride in the dim light of the command center. "Another species learns the inevitable lesson," he remarked to his second-in-command, Sub-Admiral Tezil. "They resist, they suffer, they submit." "Indeed, High Admiral," Tezil replied, her crystalline exoskeleton catching the light as she manipulated the holographic tactical display. "Though these humans have fought more effectively than our intelligence suggested they would." Krelvor's mouth tendrils twitched with amusement. "Effectiveness is relative, Sub-Admiral. They've merely delayed the inevitable by a few solar cycles. Our fleet outnumbers theirs 6-1, and our technology is centuries beyond their crude fusion drives and railguns. Of course, High Admiral, the Imperial Council will be pleased with your swift victory. We'll reach their homeworld within 30 hours at current speed." Krelvor studied the blue-green planet on his display, Earth as the humans called it. Another world soon to join the Sithian Empire's collection of 500 subjugated planets. The Empire had stood for 3,000 years, expanding methodically throughout their arm of the galaxy. Resistance was always crushed. Assimilation was always achieved. "Begin preparations for orbital bombardment," Krelvor ordered. "The standard protocol: destroy their major military installations first, then their seats of government. Once their leadership structure collapses, they'll accept our terms." "By your command," Tezil acknowledged, sending the orders throughout the fleet. The Sithians had perfected this approach over millennia. Clinical, efficient subjugation with minimal collateral damage. Destroyed planets couldn't provide resources or labor after all. Meanwhile, the UES Defiant limped back toward Earth alongside dozens of other damaged vessels. From all appearances, humanity's military might was broken. The ship's communication officer approached Commander Voss with a datapad. "Commander, encrypted transmission from Central Command. Your eyes only." Ilara pressed her palm against the scanner and watched as the message decoded itself. "Phoenix Protokoval activated. Section CEFs REPORT to a facility OMIJ. Authorization. Sithian Alpha 7729. She deleted the message and turned to Captain Torres. "Captain, I need an atmospheric shuttle prepared. I'm being recalled to Earth immediately." Torres nodded, asking no questions. In the 10 years since first contact with the Sithian Empire, when their scouts had appeared at the edge of the solar system, demanding Earth's submission to their expanding dominion, humanity had prepared for this day. 12 hours later, Ilara stood in a vast underground chamber beneath the Olympus Mountains on Earth. The facility, known only as Omega, extended for kilometers in all directions, its existence completely hidden from orbital scans by technology that the rest of humanity wasn't supposed to possess for at least another century. Admiral Elena Chen, Supreme Commander of Earth's true military forces, addressed the gathered section chiefs. Unlike the public-facing Earth Defense Force with its blue and silver uniforms, everyone here wore the black and gold of Earth's Shadow Fleet, a force whose existence was known to fewer than 300 humans. The Sithians have performed exactly as expected, Admiral Chen said, her voice echoing in the cavernous command center. Their tactics, their formation, their targeting priorities, all precisely as our predictive model suggested. Holographic displays showed the Sithian fleet approaching Earth's orbit, nearly 500 warships in perfect formation, their weapons primed for the orbital bombardment that had broken countless civilizations before. For 10 years, we've shown them exactly what they expected to see, Chen continued. A moderately advanced spacefaring civilization with fusion technology, basic energy weapons, and conventional defenses. We fought against them with one arm tied behind our back, losing battles we could have won, deploying outdated technology when we had better. And they believed every moment of it, added General Marcus Santos, head of military intelligence. Our latest deep cover agents confirm that High Admiral Krelvor is already planning his victory transmission to the Imperial Council. Ilara studied the tactical displays with growing anticipation. Surrounding Earth in a three-dimensional grid were small red dots, dimensional anchors placed strategically throughout the solar system over the past decade. Are the Sentinels ready, Commander Voss? Admiral Chen asked. Ilara stepped forward. Yes, Admiral. All 7 Sentinel vessels are fully operational and crews are at battle stations. Dimensional pockets are stable and ready for collapse on your command. Admiral Chen's weathered face broke into a rare smile. Then it's time we show the Sithian Empire why Earth has stood alone among the stars, why we never sought to join the galactic community, why we've kept our true capabilities hidden for so long. She turned to the communications officer. Send the signal. Phoenix Protocol is now fully active. In deep space, hidden within pocket dimensions that existed adjacent, Krelvor's mouth tendrils quivered with satisfaction. Another world to add to the Empire's glory. Another species to contribute their resources and labor to the greater Sithian purpose. He raised his hand, about to give the final order, when the sensor officer's alarmed voice cut through the command deck. High Admiral. Massive energy signatures detected. Multiple spatial anomalies forming around our fleet. Krelvor spun toward the main tactical display. Explain. Before the officer could respond, space itself seemed to ripple and tear around the Sithian fleet. What began as small distortions rapidly expanded into gaping wounds in the fabric of reality. The crystal dominion shuddered as gravitational forces warped and fluctuated. Impossible. Tezil whispered as the tactical display updated to show what was emerging from these spatial ruptures. Ships, enormous vessels unlike anything in the Sithian database, pushed through the tiers in space-time. Their hulls were midnight black, absorbing rather than reflecting light, making them appear as starless voids against the backdrop of space. Energy patterns pulsed along their surfaces in geometric configurations that seemed to bend the eye's perception. 7 vessels detected, the sensor officer reported, voice shaking. Each approximately 3 kilometers in length. Energy signatures are, Sir, these readings can't be correct. They're outputting more power than our entire fleet combined. Krelvor stared in disbelief as the 7 behemoths took position, effectively surrounding his fleet in a 3-dimensional enclosure. Open communications, he barked. Identify those vessels immediately. The main view screen flickered to life, showing a human female in a black and gold uniform, unlike the blue and silver they'd seen on Earth's defensive forces. Sithian Fleet, this is Captain Diana Wu of the Earth Sentinel Force vessel Prometheus. Your fleet is now surrounded. Power down your weapon systems immediately or face the consequences of your aggression against our world. Krelvor stepped forward, his luminescent patterns flashing with indignation. This is High Admiral Krelvor of the Sithian Empire. We do not recognize your authority. The Earth Defense Force has been defeated. Whatever deception this is. This is no deception, Admiral. Wu interrupted calmly. What you've been fighting for the past 10 years was merely our public-facing defense force. What you see before you is Earth's true military power. Impossible. Krelvor hissed. We've been monitoring Earth for decades. Our intelligence was exactly what we wanted you to see. Wu finished for him. Humanity has maintained a technological facade for centuries, Admiral. The ships you've been fighting were deliberately designed to hide our true capabilities. As if to emphasize her point, the tactical display updated to show the enormous vessels. These Sentinels, now fully encircling the Sithian fleet. Weapon ports along their hulls glowed with energy signatures, unlike anything Sithian science had catalogued. Sub-Admiral. Krelvor turned to Tazil, keeping his voice low. Analysis. Tazil studied her readings, her exoskeleton paling with concern. Their hulls appear to be composed of metamaterials unknown to our science. The energy readings suggest dimensional manipulation technology far beyond our theoretical understanding. If these readings are accurate, they could destroy our entire fleet. Krelvor turned back to the human captain. You've hidden your true capabilities from us. Why reveal them now? To make our point clear, Captain Wu replied. For 10 years, your empire has attacked our colonies, destroyed our outposts, and killed our people. We allowed this limited conflict to continue because we needed to understand what kind of civilization we were dealing with. We've witnessed how you treat conquered worlds, intercepted your communications about your plans for Earth, how you would strip our resources, subjugate our people, and erase our culture. Her expression hardened. We decided such a fate was unacceptable. Admiral Chen stepped into view beside Captain Wu. High Admiral Krelvor, this is Admiral Elena Chen, Supreme Commander of Earth's Defense Forces. To demonstrate our capabilities, please observe. The view screen split to show one of the Sentinel vessels adjusting its position slightly. A focused beam of blue-white energy, deceptively thin and almost delicate in appearance, lanced out toward a small uninhabited moon in the distance. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire moon seemed to shudder before silently breaking apart into billions of fragments. That was our lowest power setting. Admiral Chen explained calmly. Our Sentinels operate on principles of dimensional manipulation that allow us to selectively alter the fundamental forces binding matter together. With a thought, we could unmake your entire fleet atom by atom. The command deck of the Crystal Dominion fell into stunned silence. Krelvor's mind raced through the implications. In 3,000 years of expansion, the Sithian Empire had never encountered technology so far beyond their understanding. Their greatest military campaign in decades had been based on a catastrophic intelligence failure. "What are your terms?" he asked, voice carefully controlled despite the turmoil within. "Immediate withdrawal of all Sithian forces from the Sol system," Chen replied. "Return to Sithian space. A diplomatic vessel will follow to negotiate terms for peaceful coexistence between our civilizations." "And if we refuse?" Krelvor asked, though he already knew the answer. Admiral Chen simply gestured to the view screen where the fragments of the destroyed moon continued drifting apart. For the first time in his long military career, High Admiral Krelvor faced a force he could not overcome through superior numbers or technology. Pride demanded resistance, but wisdom required acknowledgement of reality. "Send the orders," he commanded Tazil. "All ships power down weapon systems and prepare for immediate withdrawal from this system." As the commands went out, Sensor Officer Mexler approached hesitantly. "High Admiral, these Sentinel vessels, the technology they possess changes everything we thought we knew about humanity." "Yes," Krelvor agreed quietly, "and one wonders what else they've been hiding." In the days that followed, the Sithian fleet retreated from the Sol system under the watchful gaze of Earth's Sentinel vessels. News of the Empire's first major defeat in centuries sent shockwaves through Sithian society and the broader galactic community. On Earth, Commander Ilara Voss stood beside Admiral Chen in Facility Omega, watching the tactical displays as the last Sithian warship crossed the heliopause. "Do you think they'll return?" Ilara asked. Admiral Chen shook her head. "Not as conquerors, perhaps someday as equals. And the other galactic powers, once word spreads about the Sentinels. That's precisely why we've kept them hidden for so long," Chen replied. "Humanity has been developing in isolation for reasons beyond just caution. Our understanding of dimensional physics puts us centuries ahead of most known civilizations. If that knowledge were to spread prematurely, it could destabilize the entire galactic order," Ilara finished. "Indeed, but now that we've revealed ourselves, we can no longer remain in isolation, which is why the diplomatic corps is being activated alongside the Sentinel program." Outside Facility Omega, life on Earth continued largely unchanged. Most citizens would never know how close they had come to subjugation, or that humanity's greatest technological achievements had been kept hidden not just from alien civilizations, but from most of humanity itself. As the diplomatic vessel prepared to depart for negotiations with the Sithian Empire, Ilara contemplated the new era dawning for Earth. Humanity had preserved its independence, not through deception alone, but through patience, foresight, and the wisdom to reveal their strength only when necessary. The galaxy was about to discover that humans were far more than they appeared to be, and that Earth's isolation had never been about weakness, but about a responsibility to powers that could reshape the very fabric of reality itself.